Sony surprised everybody last year at E3 when they announced that they were partnering with Hidetaka Miyazaki and From Software to create a Dark Souls-like game called Bloodborne. It's kind of a spiritual sister or brother to the Dark Souls franchise.
Dark cousin, maybe?
Dark cousin, yes. Scott and I have been brutalized by this game. We've attempted to play it. So far, we have ventured into the world of Yarnum a little bit. What do you think of Bloodborne,
I was
my friend?
kind of excited to play this game because of the history behind it. I was never a huge fan of Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls 1, and then Dark Souls 2. And I'll be honest with you, I tried to play those games. I'm not going to pretend that I am awesome at every video game like I do every other. Those are the other days on the show.
All right,
Today I want to be honest, and I want to say I've spent the last 3 nights trying my best to play Bloodborne, and I was not entirely unhappy, even though I saw this screen hundreds of times. You die, but I would come back and I would live again, and I'd want to go back in and I'd want to retry. And that's what's exciting about this, is you gather a little information, then you use that information to your advantage, and you just make it a little further, not a lot further, just another few feet deeper into the level every time. You might discover something that you haven't seen before. And because of the mystery and because of the history, the mystery and the history behind Bloodborne, I'm a little intrigued.
I, too, have been completely dumbfounded and absolutely terrorized by the enemies in this game. They are just brutal. It is so unbelievably frustrating to die so often as you're trying to get anywhere in this thing, especially when you start to come up against some of these bosses, which are insanely difficult.
But even the way that the game starts, it's not a particularly forgiving or kind or gentle first 20 minutes. As soon as you go in, you're in that laboratory, you meet this wolf, and the wolf kills you, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm doing karate on a wolf? Like, how am I gonna get by this wolf? Then eventually you figure out a solution. But I like the fact that the game is so unapologetically difficult. This is so antithetical to the way almost every other video game out there right now is designed.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is something from like the Battletoads era.
It's about the roots of game design and obviously, you know, roguelikes and even things like Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins from Capcom, which were unbelievably difficult, and you'd have to start from the beginning over and over again. This whole roguelike type of culture out there is very much present in Bloodborne, but what's different and significant about this game is the beautiful world, all of the ornate architecture, the destructible environments, this creep and this menace that permeates through the audio soundscape that's in the game. It's a lush, creepy, gothic, absolutely indulgent puzzle. You really love it, even though it's crushing you, especially if you're new to this type of design, if you didn't play the Dark Souls games at all.
It makes me wish that video game history was a little bit different and that we hadn't gone into this iPhone user-friendly era that we're in. Games used to be mysterious. You're right about the text adventure games. Those worlds made no sense, and you had to make your own sense of those worlds, and that's kind of the brave step that Bloodborne and the Dark Souls and the Demon Souls games have re-embraced.
It is a masterpiece. The only issues I would say about Bloodborne are the cameras can be, in addition to the different combat mechanics that you're going to have to learn to progress in the game, the camera is no friend to you. And that interminable loading time every time you die, which will be often, is so frustrating. You want to be able to jump right back in, but what the game is doing is it's storing all of the system data from exactly where you are, so it's interesting that you can just jump right back to exactly where you were. What are you giving Bloodborne?
I think this is awesome. Again, I agree with you, not for everybody. 7.5.
It gets a 9.5 from me.